I thought I was done for today. Already uploaded 2 videos, one on Chelsea, one on Arsenal, but major transfer news coming out regarding Tottenham and Chelsea. And it's a very, very, very good video, guys. Mohammed Kudus prioritizes a move to Tottenham. And has he just rejected Chelsea? We're going to break it all down in this video as Tottenham have tonight launched a £50 million bid to West Ham, as per David Ornstein reports. Fabrizio Romano has given a transfer update as well. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Let me know your thoughts. We've had 2 videos do well over 1,000 likes recently. If you haven't already, please go down, drop a like, hit that subscribe button. The road to 70k is well and truly on. We're nearly at 60,500, which is crazy, absolutely crazy. But without further ado, we are going to jump straight into this. Now, Fabrizio Romano tweeted this out on the 1st of July, saying the following. I'll bring this up on the screen for you guys now. This was the first news regarding Tottenham and Kudus. Now, Chelsea prior to this have been heavily linked with a move to Mohammed Kudus. Now, apparently he does want to move away from West Ham. We know that Sullivan apparently needs to raise funds. Jarrod Bowen's just signed a new long-term deal. So you look at the other players they've got available. Paqueta's got the situation in Brazil with the FA, around him. So you look at Mohammed Kudus, and he's probably the most valuable player they've got other than those two. And the report come out from Fabrizio Romano saying talks between Mohammed Kudus and Tottenham on project and personal terms are underway. Positive approach. Kudus is opening to joining Spurs while talks continue with both player and West Ham sides. There are 2 more clubs involved in the race. Now, we know the other club involved in this is, of course, Chelsea. Now, David Ornstein has dropped an exclusive, a huge bomber, massive bit of news coming out, and it was only about 20 minutes ago. So I'm trying to get this to you guys as soon as I can. And David Ornstein is one of the most credible journalists in the football world, has come out and said tonight, West Ham United have tonight received an offer for Tottenham to sign Mohammed Kudus, a bid worth £50 million, which has been turned down, but direct club-to-club talks continue. 24-year-old Ghanaian international is prioritising Tottenham. Fucking gutting! Bring this guy to Spurs, mate. Sorry for losing all composure, but this guy has bags of ability. Can play in the 10, can play left wing, can play right wing. We may have a long-term replacement for Heung-min Son. West Ham, if West Ham exits, personal terms are no issue. Listen, bring this guy to Spurs. The fact that he is choosing Spurs over Chelsea is absolutely insane as well. Looking at the season we have just had last year. Now, there was a report coming out from a Chelsea ITK to say that, I think it was Chelsea transfer. Here we go. Was it this one? I don't think it. Let me quickly find it. It was. I think it was. Here we go. Let me bring this up on the screen for you guys now. So this was someone essentially quote tweeting the David Ornstein stuff, saying Spurs have the 50 million bid turned down. Kudus is prioritising Spurs. Kudus has remained on Chelsea's radar after stalling and completing a deal to signing from Stamford Bridge in Ajax 2023. So that for me is absolutely huge. The fact that we potentially could be signing Mohammed Kudus. It may be more, it may be less, but Jacob Steinberg has also come out with another bit of news, and it says the following. This is coming out from Chelsea Dodgers. West Ham is expecting Chelsea to return with a new offer for Kudus if Madueke is sold. West Ham are reluctant to sell Kudus to Tottenham, but have no issue dealing with Chelsea. I don't know how reliable Jacob Steinberg is. I believe he is very credible. But what I will say is, if Chelsea are waiting for Arsenal, but we're ready waiting there with the money, they might, if they gamble and say, look, we want to sell to Chelsea, and then let's say Madueke does actually stay at Chelsea, then that entire scenario is going to be going absolutely everywhere. I look at this way. Mohammed Kudus drastically improves Tottenham's front line in terms of quality, in terms of age. You know, we've missed out on a few targets so far this window. Brian and Mbuemo, we got Thomas Franklin. I thought it was going to be an absolute dead cert. He was going to be joining Tottenham. His priority is joining Manchester United. Then you had the situation coming out from David Ornstein that Tottenham have put a bid in for Semenyo. He then goes and signs a new long-term contract at Bournemouth. We can't mess this one up. Mohammed Kudus in a Spurs shirt, for me, ticks every single box. And I can't actually believe I'm being this positive about Tottenham, because right now you're bringing in a guy who's about to turn 25 next month, who in his first season at West Ham had a really, really good season, 8 goals and 6 assists, with also 5 goals in the Europa League. His record in a West Ham shirt is actually relatively good, with 25 GA in 65 games in the Premier League. His record overall in a West Ham shirt is about 39 GA in 87 games, which is not a million miles away from roughly a goal or an assist every 2 games. You know, you also got to look at the situation with regards to Heung-min Son. Is he going to be staying long term? Is he going to be leaving? Like, I think Heung-min Son, I'd be happy for him to do 1 more year at this football club, providing he is not starting week in, week out. Now, it looks like from what Fabrizio Romano and David Ornstein are saying, that Tottenham are going to go back in with a second bid. Their priority, of course, is to sell to Chelsea. Now, Matt Law said this a few days ago. Tottenham want to break their unofficial transfer embargo with West Ham United and sign Mohammed Kudus. Kudus has been identified as a primary target by Spurs, who are optimistic they can clinch a deal well below his £85 million release clause, which runs for the first 10 days of July. So that £85 million release clause will expire on July the 10th. After that, it's game on. It's going to be a race between Tottenham and Chelsea. But as it stands right now, it looks like his priority is to join the North London club, which makes me very, very happy and very optimistic about going into next season. I personally think Tottenham needs to bring in 1, 2, 3 big signings this month. Now, I don't know how reliable this source is, but this is what someone has said on Twitter, coming out saying the following. Mohammed Kudus, Tottenham are now in talks with West Ham to reach an agreement for the transfer of Mohammed Kudus. Talks are advanced between Tottenham and Kudus and the camp over a 5-year contract until 2030, with salary worth $8 million per season, including bonuses. Personal terms are close to total agreement. Mohammed Kudus is open to move to Tottenham. Sources suggest that Champions League is a huge positive. Also highly values Thomas Frank and his vision in football. Regarding club-to-club talks, Tottenham are offering a package worth $55 million, while West Ham are asking for a $65 million package, $10 million in the difference in valuation. More talks have taken place to try to get closer to a total agreement with West Ham for the transfer of Kudus. 3 more clubs, including Chelsea, have made inquiries. I don't know if Newcastle are interested as well. The deal is not advanced or imminent as of now, but important stages approach for the future. Approaching for the future deal. I think if Tottenham are serious, we need to go and get this deal done over the line, and we need to get it done ASAP. I do think this will probably drag on to maybe 10th, 11th, 12th of July, because I think that the situation with his release clause, I don't think Tottenham are gonna trigger it. And I don't think we'll get a here we go or anything like that in the coming days. But it is very, very positive signs to see right now that Tottenham are moving in the right direction. And if we can get Mohammed Kudus over the line for £50 million, keep Son as a backup, Romero's going to be the next one. We've got to show him that we have the ambition as a football club to keep our best players. Surely that's what the club want to do. I mean, you look at the situation right now that other teams are in, losing their best players, like a West Ham. Their recent transfers hasn't really gone to plan. Crystal Palace are going to potentially be losing Eze and Gahey. Bournemouth have lost Dean Huijsen. We need to show that our best players, that we are serious. And the only way we're going to do that is by strengthening our squad and winning trophies. So make sure you go down, drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time. I am out.